with 4 apparitions, spirit activity and connections to Cheam's historic past. The Spiral team investigate the 16th century Old Rectory. Although Cheam village is now engulfed by the suburbia of the London Borough of Sutton, it still manages to retain much of its historical charm, with the Old Rectory being a prominent example of this. Built in the early 1500s, this Grade 2 lifted building stands opposite St Dunstan's Church and the site of our previous investigation at Lumley Chapel. The rectory stands near the vast area that was once the estate of Henry VIII's Nonsuch Palace. It is tempting to imagine the rectory being a prominent stop for visitors to the royal court, humming with gossip of the day.
We've lived in the old rectory for 3 years now, and the first time I saw anything was after we had builders in sanding and sealing the floors, and they were bang 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 everywhere, everything was pulled out, and I think this old lady basically came out of the woodwork. She was absolutely wild about this, but she woke me up at night looking so miserable. She just stood there. And the other thing I picked up was that a legion, Roman legion, marched through our sitting room from calf height and disappeared in the fireplace, which kind of figures because that would have been in the direction of Cuddington village at that point, which would have completely been right. Then we get to the cellar. Now the cellar is really a bit of a knobbly point with me, because I don't like going down there and my hackles rise whenever I go down there. And my husband and the plumber, who's a very rational chap indeed, have both stood there and watched the central heating switching itself off invisibly, invisible fingers switching their central heating off. And the problems we had with that heating system, intermittent and peculiar problems that foxed-filled the engineer completely, eventually we had to actually install a new system. Recently I've seen a little black and white cat a couple of times on the landing, same landing again, and I was woken up by a baby crying as well, which gets right into you once you've had a baby, you know, that's a deep primeval instinct to wake up when you hear that baby crying.
As the team arrived, our psychic Alan was already sensing a strong connection with the house.
When I came here before, I sat in this room. This is the last room I sat in before I went down to the basement. And it was alive with people out on the lawns and in here, and royalty, related to royalty even, you know, through the 1800s.
Joining us on the investigation was Jane's son Will and house guest Sarah, making this our largest team to date with 11 people. With Alan preparing himself alone, Alexis took everyone on a tour of the rectory, so to familiarise people with the property.
Thanks. You probably know a bit better than me, so you might want to do it. If you want to come round. Someone else giving a tour of your house, that must be surreal.
Go for it. Things I don't know about this house.
I only knew that was the front door.
This is the living room.
This is the living room. Through here, you actually go out onto the roof, but because this part's the original house, it's got one roof, and then you can actually stand in between the eaves, and then it's got the new roof that's built completely over the top of the whole house. And we'll take our camera.
Right, do you want to take team leader, please? Splitting into 2 teams, Alexis took team A, Byron, Hannah, Lisa and Will into the living room, whilst Mark took team B, Alan, Patricia, Sally, Leanne and Sarah down into the cellar.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I've said something behind me, I keep looking over my shoulder all the time.
This is the heart of Cheam.
I always thought that they said that Lumley Chapel was like the nucleus.
Yes, but this is the heart, you know?
Right.
The rectory here, in this time it's been here, is the heart of Cheam. It's like a body. This is the heart, and the arteries spread out.
Our first location for Team A, because we are the best, that's why I'm saying Team A, not really. We're in the front room, we're the original team, and we've decided to separate tonight so that we can come into the front room to start off with.
How do you feel when you always come in here? Do you always
This is
feel-
my living room.
Yeah.
I felt creepy every time I come in here. This wouldn't be my house.
No.
I try to stay skeptic just so I can stay here comfortably.
Yeah. What about your lodger? Has she said it ever felt anything?
I'm not sure about this room. She feels more stuff in her room. I think she's sort of. Oh, the fireplace. That was the one thing. People have allegedly seen footsteps in the sort of her footsteps around the fireplace.
Oh wow. What, in this room?
Yeah, sort of going towards the fire.
I think that I feel like there's a man in this area up down in there around here, and that's why I got the instinct thing. But then when I was downstairs, then that's when I thought, oh no, I think there's a female, a Victorian kind of apron thing, like that kind of outfit. So what, like a worker of this house? Someone that would work here or live here? I don't know, it just imagine like, I think I'll play with it. And what's she doing? Is she standing still? Is she walking? What's she doing? No. It's not that I don't like it in there. It's because it scares me, that's why. Like, because I'm as much of a skeptic as anybody else. As much as Byron or yourself. Don't do that with your eyes either. Don't do what? Don't stop it. I'm not doing anything.
Team A moved to the cellar with Team B entering the living room.
Onwards, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's just been such a massive change in this building. Pass up the stairs.
Yeah.
Same one that was in Whitehall. I felt I'd just come in.
Really? Right, shivers come down me. That's probably because you just said that.
There is definitely a young child. This lady is the one who come in to look after the child, and the child passed. And it's the same lady I saw come into Whitehall when I was in there. Exactly the same. She's looking at me. I just got a knock here behind me.
A knock?
I just had a knock right here. If it's altering at all and you're hearing it, it's doing this something around. There's a change of energy. Like I said to you, that woman came in.
And she came in and checked us out.
Yeah, she come in. She come in and looked at us. She's wondering what we're doing. You know?
There's nothing here now. Sarah's
Right, there's no signal at all there.
Nothing at
Sarah's
all.
sitting here, there's nothing
Same position
here at all.
as when Leanne was sitting
Now
there.
come back to you. Check you again in case she's still with you.
My left.
Now check
this
her
is
again in
tingling.
case she's still with you.
Oh, it's on.
Now look.
Yeah. The one I'm on or the other one?
Yeah, no, this one. It was that one last time. It's this one now.
And the only thing I'll say is, have you got a watch on?
No, I don't wear watches because they
You're
stop.
fine.
Whenever I put a watch on, it
No,
stops.
no, there's nothing coming on you. That was all coming from there when she was sitting there.
What's happened is where Sarah was sitting replaced where Leanne was sitting. Leanne was picking up lots of electromagnetic field around her. Sarah now moved into where she was sitting, nothing. We've moved Leanne over to another chair and it's picking up again, as you can hear.
I haven't got that headache anymore, but I'm tingling like pins and needles, and if something is pinching my ear, my left ear.
Actually, go and check that chair. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Just check, we're just going to
Yeah,
check the
check
chair
it.
with the EMF reader.
You're what I said to her. I said, there's been something illness around
I had a
because she's.
heart condition in
Yeah,
December.
she's
Oh,
come.
really?
That's why she's
Apart
come.
from coming off of some pretty heavy tablets as well, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said to you. This woman has been looking after the sick in Whitehall, in here. That's how I've seen
She
her.
still
felt.
feels she's doing her duty.
And she's doing what she's doing here. She's come round you because she's checking you.
Wanting to explore the rectory grounds as well as the house, we headed outside and made our way to the stable.
The gardens of like Whitehall in the 60s when the council went right down to that lane, they're massive. This is the same, it was a massive area, much, much bigger. The parties and functions and things that were going on here. When I went in that place, I said, just sat in there, I could just see them, and they were out on the lawns and incredible life. It was like the centre of, you know?
This used to be a stables.
The building itself is bunged up against a wall, which is the most ancient part of this whole place. If you look at it, the back wall was there and the whole building's been bunged up against it. The wall is like flint. The walls that matches are the earliest walls in Whitehall. The earliest walls, the base walls, if you go into one area of Whitehall, yeah. which could be late medieval, early Tudor.
With some members of the crew retired for the evening, we combined our efforts and headed up to the first and second floors.
Walking across the wall.
I haven't tapped them on the shoulder yet, have
They're in a really good mood. It'd be great if they took you off the chair.
Yeah, this is the 1800s, early 1800s. So anyway, by the clothes of the one who runs about. I would say within 1820, 1840, something, that sort of date, right? Whatever this sickness was the child died of, the child was in there, that's what she was running for. The mother was already in here, sick, in a bed. So it was a sickness that was in here. Was there anyone else? Anything else? The mother survived it, but the child died. Like I said, I always knew the child died because I knew that from the minute I picked her up. The mother survived it, but the child died.
Could this spirit be the same child that the owner Jane had witnessed previously?
This is just so weird. It's such a... You know, it's like sadness but with relief as well. Which seems impossible and it's hard to explain. But when you think about it, you can actually understand it. You know? Oh.
Alright.
Yeah, no, yeah. It is just so overwhelming.
Would you say this is more residual energy, or I know the lady's active, or even her walking, rushing through?
The woman comes up. This is all like, it's like a whole pattern of things replaying. No, it's part residual, but no, this is spirit as well.
Right. Okay.
This is spirit as well.
Although not caught on camera, Patricia and Sally thought they heard what sounded like a bell from the landing.
We were in the nursery room. We had a maid's bell ringing twice.
Did you sense anything? A maid's bell? I didn't hear it.
You weren't in the room. Alan wasn't in the
because
room.
when I was here before, we had this. Yeah, I had this woman rushing about up here like it was a servant, without a doubt. But I don't think they recognise that. But it's not strong. It's not an impression.
Right.
Does anyone in this room like to make their presence known? Please use our collective energy. You can touch one of us. Can you tap the wall? Can you tap the wall if you're here? Or rattle the door?
Knock, tap, touch one of us.
I thought it was something like a spider or my hair, and I've pulled my hair and it's almost like somebody's stroking the side of my neck.
That's good.
Just...
That's good. Because when they touch you, often enough people think it's like walking through a spider's web or something.
Okay.
If you're doing that, can you do that again, please?
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you do more? Because we need more.
What was that? Who did that? Did anyone move?
No. If that was you, can you manage to do that again? Once more, please.
From behind Alan.
I won't ask you for much more. Please, can you do that for us? Make that sound, move something, do something. I really, really appreciate you doing that for us.
Our evening at the Old Rectory had been an intriguing investigation. Light anomalies, interesting EMF readings and connections with Cheam's historic past had given us topic for discussion. With so much history embedded within the walls of this grand building, we felt we'd only scratched the surface of this fascinating property, and further investigation of the rectory and surrounding area was definitely needed.